So in the last video we saw how we can render out these specific items depending on the items we have in our database. So I went ahead and just changed the titles as you see here. So go ahead and do that for your application instead of just rendering out the dummy item 1, that title there. So what we need to do is, if we click on through the product detail page, we want it to be such that if we click onto the specific items, it takes us to the items detail view. So to do that, inside our views.py, we need to define an item detail view. So class product, or let's say product detail, just inherits from the detail view, and the model, it is still the item model, and the template name, so template name, it is product.html, like that. So save that, and we can get rid of that function based view there and make our URLs, make sure that our URLs are using that. So inside there we can bring that, copy that inside our URLs, paste it there, and .as underscore view. And since it is a class-based view, it needs to take in an extra parameter, which is the slug of that specific item. So slug, like that. And if we go back to the home page and we click on that specific item, so we can add an href there, and that just goes to the URL. So the URL of, let's say it is product. So if you can come back, so URL of product, and as an extra parameter we specify the object, the slug of that specific object. So object dot slug, like that. And we can also specify that on the title here. So I can just copy that, and inside the title paste that there. So if we go back to the product detail page, get rid of that, and so this image here, it will be the product, the object image. So object dot image dot URL, and you can get rid of those comments there, just cleaning up everything. And we have 3 categories here, so we can get rid of those 2 and just have 1. So that will be our object. So object dot get category, so get category underscore display, and badge purple, we can leave it as that. Then we have our price, so we can just say that if there's a discount price, so go ahead and display the discount price and the price itself, and if there's no discount price, just display the price. So if object dot discount, so discount price, then we'll need a span tag there, and that will just be the discount price of that object. And we'll need that one there, and else, so else we just display the price of that specific object. We can cut that and paste it there. You can type that in. That will be object dot price, like that. So get rid of that, and since we have our own description, we can get rid of that and this will be the description of our object. So object dot description like that, and everything seems nice, so we can get rid of that in the form there. And if we come back and test this out, so we are on the home page, and as you can see inside the base URL for product there are no reverse for product with no arguments found. So inside our base we can just get rid of these URLs there, so get rid of those, and we'll just keep one of them which just goes to the home page. And if we come back and refresh, now everything seems to be working. So if we can click on that, goes to dummy item 1, and we see that. So dummy item 1 has a discount price of 200, so we can just confirm that. And that's dummy item 1. So inside the items, dummy item 1 has a discount price and the price. So this should be inside the product here, the delete. Okay, it should be object dot price. So object dot price like that. And if we come back and refresh that, you see the 250 is striked out. We have our description there and the add to cart buttons, although these images have nothing to do with this image with our product here, but this can be some additional information, so you can work on that. And so everything looks fine. Inside our views, we can specify the add to cart view, and I'll go ahead and do it. So we can just save everything, do it at the bottom, so we can define and add to cart view, which just takes in the request and the slug of that specific item, so that we add a specific item to cart. And in here we need to get that specific item, and if we don't have that specific item, we can just raise a 404. So from Django.shortcuts we can import the get object of 404. So get object of 404, and instead of using a get method on the ORM, we can just use the get object of 404. So our item, it will be get object of 404 of the item model, and where the slug of that item is our slug specified inside our function. So slug like that. Now if we have that item, we need to create an order item. So our order item, it will be order item. So order item dot objects dot create, where the item is our item, the user is the request dot user, and ordered is false. So false like that, and that is what we specified inside our order item model here. So we have the user, the item, and the ordered. So another thing is, if we are doing this with the create method, we need to make sure that we are not creating duplicates, so we can regulate by the get or create method and pass in created there. So this will make sure that if there is no order item, we create it, and if there is, we just move along with the logic which follows. So we need to get the order, which will be, we can filter the order query set. So order dot objects dot filter, where the user is the request dot user, and ordered, so ordered is false. And this is a query set, so this is our order query set. And if our order query set exists, so if order query set dot exists, we grab the first item in that query set, which will be our order. So our order which will be the order query set, and get the first item in that query set. So if our order and items, if we filter for this specific item in that order and it is in there, so that is what this statement says. So if order dot items filter, so if we filter by the item double underscore slug equal to the item dot slug, if that exists, it means that we already have that order item in the order, so it is justified to increase its quantity by 1. So we say order item dot quantity plus equals to 1. Then we can say order item dot, we can save it like that. So this is if that specific order item is in the order. Else if it is not in that order, so else we need to add that order item to the order. So we can just say order dot items, so order dot items dot add, and then we pass in the order item and we save the order, so order dot save like that. And a good thing is we can also return a message. So let's import the messages from Django contrib. So from Django.contrib we need to import the messages, and down here when we increase the quantity we want to return a message. So messages dot success of that request, and I'll use an f string for that. So, and in here we can say the item dot title quantity was updated, so updated like that, get rid of that there. And we can also return a redirect, so return redirect, we need to import redirect there from the shortcuts, so redirect. And if we come back, so return a redirect to the product, so that needs to be a string, so the product, and the product URL, if you remember, it takes in an extra parameter, so which is the slug of that item. So the slug equals to the slug of that specific item, and you can copy that and return the same thing there. So that item, we can say that that item was added to the cart, so was added to your cart like that. So this is if we have an order query set, that is we already have an order. And else if we don't have an order, so else we need to create that order on the spot. So our order will be a create method on the ORM, so order dot objects dot create, and we need to pass in the user as request.user. So request user, we can pass in an ordered as false, and then that needs to be ordered, so ordered as false. Then the ordered date, we need to create it. So the ordered date is just to be ordered date. So this ordered date, we need to create it manually. As you can remember, in the models we didn't specify it, so in here we left it blank. So inside the views we can make use of Django utils, Django time zone. So from Django.utils, from Django.utils, we need to import time zone, and if you go back, our order date, it will be time zone dot now, like that. So we pass in that, and then we say order dot save, or order dot add, order dot items. So we need to pass in items first, that's many to many field, then we pass in add, then order item, after that we can just say order dot save, like that, and return a redirect like this. So in here we are adding that item to the cart, so item the title was added to your cart, and this looks fine. So we can copy that, bring that into our URLs, and I'll import them over multiple lines like that. And we'll add another path which just goes to add to cart, and it takes in the slug of that specific item. So slug, it uses the add to cart, then we can give it a name of, let's say, add to cart, then put a comma at the end there. So if we open the terminal, we can run the server again to see if everything works correctly, and everything works correctly as it is. And so instead of just going to the product detail page and specifying the href here, we can specify a method on the model. So on the item model, we can define a get add to cart URL. So get add to cart URL, which starts in self, then it returns a reverse, and that reverse we also need to import. So from Django.shortcuts, import reverse. So it returns a reverse to add to cart, which is this URL. You can copy that arrow there, paste it there, and then the keyword argument, it will be the slug, which is just self.slug, self.slug, like that. So we can copy that, and inside our product, so I'll copy that button, and outside the form I'll paste it there and comment the form, change the button into an anchor tag, and put an href there. So that will go to this URL, so we can copy that inside product.html. That will be our object dot get add to cart URL like that. So if you can check back into our model self.slug, run the server again there. So since we added some messages there, we need to see how we can output those messages when that item is added to the cart. So we can come over to the, just search for Django messages, and see how we can output messages in our templates. So if we scroll down, and we can use this. So if there are any messages, and that needs to go inside our base.html. So a good place for the messages, it will be under the navbar. So just under the navbar, can put that there, and we can make use of some alerts. So go to mdbootstrap.com, and we will be using the dismissing alerts. So if you hit alerts there, what we want is the dismissing ones. And it seems to be taking its time to load. So for the alerts, we want the dismissing ones. So anything like this, if you click there, it dismisses. So I'll copy that, and inside our base, so I'll paste it there. And if we have a message for message in messages, we will return that div there. I can tap that in, and so I'll get rid of the strong. That's where we'll have our message. So message there, and alert warning, it will be message.tags. So we can cut that out, replace it there, and get rid of that. So for message in messages, we return a div, and we can get rid of the unordered list there and tap that in. So we can go ahead and try this out. So inside our product detail view, if we click add to cart, and let's just inspect to see if we are getting the message. And so below the navbar, yeah, getting the message. So for the message, the name chart was added to your cart. So we can go ahead and specify a styling on that message. So we can just say style and say margin top. So margin top, margin top as, let's say, 5 rem. And if we come back and refresh and add to the cart again, you see we get that message there, nice and beautiful. So we can close that. And if you go to the catalog items, so not that, if we go to the order items, we see we get 2 of the name chart. We go there, we get the quantity is 2. If we go to the order, we have 2 of the name chart. So we can also focus on how we can remove that specific item from the cart. So inside our views, if I just minimize this, and the remove from cart view, it is going to be pretty much similar to this. So if we define remove from cart, takes in the request. So takes in request and a slug, so that we remove that specific item. And we also need to get the item the same way we're getting it here, assign it to the order item, get the order query set, and yeah, so we can pretty much copy this logic here. So paste it there. So our item is that, our order is that, and in here we're calling order.item, order item quantity plus equals to 1. We can just say order, so order dot items dot remove, then we pass in our order item, so remove that order item, then save that order. So order dot save, and we can say that that item was removed from the cart. So was removed from your cart, add that space there, and then return a redirect to the product. That is if we have that. Else we can just return a message saying that that item was not in the cart. So that was not in your cart. Else, if we don't have an order, we can also return a message there saying that the customer doesn't have an active order. So we can paste here and say you do not have an active order, so you don't have an active order, like that. And this needs to be info, not success, and also that, and we can leave that as success, so success, like that. So this add remove from cart URL, we can copy it and bring it into our URLs, and also add another path there that uses that view and uses the same name. So this will be remove from cart. So remove from cart takes in a slug, and inside the models we can also specify a get remove from cart URL the same way we specified there. So if we go back to our URLs, we can copy that and paste it there. So get remove from cart URL. So get remove from cart URL returns a reverse to remove from cart URL, and we can also test it out. So this goes to object dot get remove from cart URL. So paste that there, and for the remove from cart we can use a danger button, and the text is remove from cart, like that. So if we come back, everything seems to be working out correctly. The server is still running. If we refresh, so we have that remove from cart. If we hit remove from cart, now we see that shirt was removed from the cart. If we come and refresh there, and you see it's not selected, and if we go to the order item, it is still there, but inside the order it is removed. So if we go ahead and remove again, that item is not in the cart, so we can add to the cart and remove from the cart. So the removing from the cart and the adding to the cart, it is working as correctly. So in the next video, we can focus on displaying a cart item count here, and if we click on this cart icon, we need it to redirect us to the order summary. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to get notified. I'll see you in the next video.